West side, to the west side. That's where we went to, the west side. And what's up on Underground Flavas this early Saturday morning? We had to go to the west side with Oneway Wess in studio in the house.
Yeah. West side, you already know it's me. I'm in the building. What's poppin'? Good morning, everybody. What's up?
So definitely love. We got Mr. Oneway Wess in the house. Love, love, love. And definitely we was on the west side. What inspired you to do that song?
Really, what inspired me to do that song? Cause like me, just having like vibes with just different people generally. Just pulling up with friends or whatever, or a female friend, whatnot. Just chilling, smoking, and just end up on the west side or take them to the west side. Just where I'm from, where we chill, woosah.
That's what's up, a St. Louis native. And then on Zoom, or I should say Google, we have the beautiful Miss Tricia Martin and Miss Joy Hill joining us today. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Miss Redhawk.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
And so I expect other people will be zooming in, at least they supposed to. It's a rainy day, so I know what it's like to have to get up, but they got Zoom options, so hey, I really ain't trying to hear nothing today. No excuses,
No
right? You can zoom
excuses.
in. The drive-in part, I don't want you soggy sitting here, but Oneway Wess, he made it happen.
I make it happen. See?
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
So good morning to everyone. And of course, as we get this show started, we get Miss Tricia Redhawk do her spiritual cleanse. And I'm going to turn it over to her in a hot second. I just want to say thank you to everyone on Facebook Live and the feeds, and appreciate everyone who's tuned in. Take it away, Miss Tricia Martin.
Good morning, everybody. Again, this is Tricia Martin, also known as Coach Redhawk in the building. And as we do every Saturday, we blow whatever cares, concerns, worries, stress, all that mess. We blow it off of us on Saturday morning. So y'all ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Got something you need
All
to
right,
blow
all
off
right,
over
all
there?
right. So
I'm good.
do I have something I need to talk?
Do you?
Honey, read my wall, okay? That's what's on my mind. Read my wall. But hopefully these dogs won't get kicked up before I get done. But I'd like for everybody to stand in front of their imaginary dumpsters and dump. All right. Normally I give folks 2 minutes to do this, but we're gonna do it in 2 seconds because this is like the condensed version. So on the count of 3, I want you guys to breathe in and blow out after you dump. So tell me when y'all ready.
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 All right. Okay, so we know in the spiritual realm that we breathe in through our nose. Well, not even just spiritual, but in the physical realm, we breathe in through our noses and blow out of our mouths. On the count of 3, I want you to breathe in and blow out. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Breathe in and blow out. Breathe in and blow out. Again, breathe in and blow out. Repeat after me. Universe, I am ready to be made whole again.
I am ready to be made whole again.
Universe,
I
consciously open myself to release.
I consciously open myself to release.
Universe, today I become reborn.
Today I become reborn.
Today I redirect my thoughts.
Today I
redirect my thoughts.
My energy.
My energy.
My everything.
My everything.
Onto a progressive.
Onto a progressive.
Positive path.
Positive path.
I release all negative feelings
I release all negative feelings
associated with every negative situation
associated with every negative situation
that I have encountered in this life.
that I have encountered in this life,
In that life,
in that life,
in that other life.
and that other life.
I give it all back to you.
I give it all back to you.
I call into existence
I call into existence
peace,
peace,
joy,
joy,
love,
love,
trust,
trust,
respect,
respect,
honor,
honor,
courage,
courage,
confidence,
confidence,
compassion,
compassion,
support,
support,
strength,
strength,
patience,
patience,
protection,
protection,
guidance,
guidance,
understanding,
understanding,
forgiveness,
forgiveness,
emotional,
emotional,
mental,
mental,
spiritual,
spiritual,
and physical healing,
and physical healing,
abundance,
abundance
every area of my life,
in every area of my life,
and a clear thought process.
and a clear thought process.
I thank you in advance
I thank you in advance
for recognizing all of my needs
for perfecting all of my needs
and taking me on this new journey.
and taking me on this new journey.
One which I deserve
One which I deserve
and I am ready for.
and I am ready for.
And so it shall be.
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 And we're going to bring that into the right here and right now. And we say, and so it is.
And bring it to the right here, right now, and say it so is.
And so it is.
And so is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
We're going to take 3 5 deep breaths time before we blow them out. We're going to imagine ourselves mighty winds blowing away all of our cares, our concerns, our worries, our disappointments, our fears, our heartaches, our heartbreaks, our stresses, those exes. We're going to blow all of that unwanted, unneeded, unnecessary energy away. On the count of 3, I want you to breathe in and blow out like you've never breathed in or blown out before. 1, 2, 3, breathe in and blow out. Again, breathe in and blow out. One final time, breathe in and blow out. Welcome to your new day.
Thank you, Miss Martin. Thank you, Miss Martin. I have people a young lady trying to call in to the studio. So it's been a little cuckoo while we were getting our, blowing our energies away. I had to use some energy. So hopefully I got that figured out right now. Joy Hill, how you doing over there?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm at the job, so I won't be. I'll just be listening this morning.
I got you. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you. Tricia Martin, you gave me some fire news this morning, real quick. You received an email or something?
No, it wasn't an email. It was a text, I believe. Let me see if I can find it. It was a text from Perch, and let me see what it said. Let me find it. Let me see. Perch. Where art thou? Let me see. Here we go. Yes, it says, hey, it's the Perch Credit app. Congratulations. We were able to move up your cohort to get into the app sooner. Open the app and type in your number again to see which cohort you are in. Appreciate your support and patience. Text us anytime if you have questions.
And that was from Perch itself, correct?
Yes, that was the Perch Credit app, which I'm assuming has a actual person sending them out. But yes, I received that. What was that? April? That was 2 days ago. Yeah, April 8th.
So Perch has reached out and said you have moved up.
Yes.
What do you remember your number? And then I'm gonna turn it over to our interview guest. I just wanna, really get this out that yes, they are responding and we are moving up to the head of the line. What was your number when you first signed on?
I believe it was. I had it wrote down someplace. Who knows where that is? But I believe I was number 26.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You was like
Yeah.
20 something, and I know they were
Yeah.
on like what 9 or something, 8 or 9.
Yes, that was the last. Let me see. The last time they were. Let's see. Hey, it's the Perch Credit app. Cohort 8 is now live, and cohort 9 will go live in 3 days. So that was on March 22nd. Now I have not went in to find out what my new number is yet because y'all got 50 million things going on. But I will be doing that, and I'll let you know. What number I am now later.
All right, that's what's up. Because I had sent an email. So that's what's up. I just wanted you to tell the audience real quick before we get into it. And I might even ask you again. And definitely, are you joining us Tuesday for the eviction audit?
Am I joining? I mean, what's going on? I'm sorry. I'm a little bit, this week was kind of topsy-turvy for me. What's that? If you can explain that to me, I can tell you if I will be participating or not.
So we talked last week about we're having the eviction audit next Tuesday with Fordham University and some other people that will be joining us. And so basically we will be discussing, as it says on the flyer, about people, getting their credit scores boosted for paying rent. I didn't go into a long detail, but I definitely talked about, rent payments and, credit scores being improved.
Okay, right. I do recall a little bit of that, but my work does not allow things to stay in my head because it just doesn't. But I will be there. I'll be there. Is it via Zoom?
Yeah, it'll be Zoom. And so that way you could just tell the audience that you've moved up. So it's not me just telling. You know me, I like everything to be pretty much first person if I can. Facts. I mean, I could tell
Okay, wonderful.
and it come from the first person. I ain't trying to take over your voice. I ain't trying to take your stuff. That ain't even it. Come on up to that microphone, Oneway Wess. We're going to get into this interview. Facts. Right.
Gotta speak facts, be 100.
Gotta be 100, and I could tell it.
Yeah.
But I would prefer her to tell it. It's her story. It ain't mine.
You know what I'm saying?
I like for people to be able to come on cue and be able to say their own piece of the story and not me tell the story for them.
Yeah, you gotta speak for yourself.
Speak for yourself.
It's like I wouldn't want somebody to come in here today to be speaking for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang. I'm in here.
You in here.
You in
here. And speaking of being in here on the West, I don't know if this would be considered West or not where we're located. Would it? You a STL native?
Hey, I mean, it's close. It's close.
It's close?
It's close.
It's close. All right. I just wanted to make sure we was close. So
close.
tell the audience about yourself.
I mean, yeah, I'm from the West, I'm a show me boy, so I've been, born and raised here, So, yeah, that's really about it. Just, real 100 person, you know what I'm saying? From the West Side, Union, Lotus, you know what I'm saying? You know where that's at, and you know, it's West Side all day. So, yeah, that's really, that's me, just 100 guy. You know what I'm saying?
And so, what made you get into music?
Really, my family for real, cause they always just into music. They really just a good little happy, little family. When we used to get all together, they always just playing all, hits, and then I just start, just getting into my own little wave and going my own little route and start writing, cause at first I was like writing, but it was like poetry to me a little bit. But then I realized I was really like writing music, So yeah, I just jumped into it head first.
And definitely we got to give a shout out to Mr. Sean Redhawk, the hustler.
Shout out. Yeah, hard. You going too hard,
Definitely got to give him a super shout out for the
Shout out my
studio.
guy.
Yeah, definitely a hard working man.
I'm telling you, hard nights, man. I'm telling you, every night, every day, every night, we just getting it in, man. It's gonna keep going.
Oh, I got a song from him too that I'm about to spin. Oh yeah, and for
we
the
finna
folks,
spin it.
I'm gonna spin. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and spin that real quick because it's
Drop
so
dead.
cold. This is gonna go on one of the movie clips that's coming out. I appreciate everybody that has done so much.
Love.
This is a dope song, Hard to Hustle right here.
What's wrong? What's wrong? I don't know. But it's starting to drive me insane. What's wrong? What's wrong? So won't somebody please tell me? Please. Are we living in vain? What's wrong? And no Heavenly Father, forgive us because we all wrong. What's wrong? And let us enjoy these last days before they're all gone. What's wrong? A better place and a better land where every human race upon this earth work hand in hand. And ain't nobody got no problem with the skin color of another, cause we treat each other just like brothers and sisters of the world, whether woman or girl. All queens beside the kings respected throughout the world. It's time for a change. Don't you think so, brother? Give love to your brothers and sisters and fathers and mothers, cause we all dying just as sure as you live. In the world where you receive just as much as you give. Picture your talent, use this money to get what you need. Nobody have no wants, so no need for greed. Cause I got what you got, and you got what I've got. Now imagine having all these things, it'll be your lot. You trade a horse for a buggy, you trade a cow for a bull, you trade a house for a car, you trade a push for a pool. I'm looking at life in a different perspective to making it better. No worries of enemies, just true friends down forever. Now picture me raising a family, all healthy and strong, but that picture's just too blurry to see. What's wrong? What's wrong? I don't know, but it's starting to drive me insane. What's wrong? What's wrong? So won't somebody please tell me? Please, are we living in vain? What's wrong? And no Heavenly Father, forgive us because we all wrong. What's wrong? And let us enjoy these last days before they're all gone. My life's full of depression, I just can't take it no more. Fatal thoughts of destruction left my soul in the bloody water. I'm paranoid and I'm schizophrenic. Yes, I'm living a boat, trying to figure out what's wrong. It's leaving me in the comatose. I guess people don't understand how I'm living right now. With all these problems that I'm facing, I ain't bowing down. And I mean my bills are piling up, my money is short. Now what's wrong with this life? I just can't take it no more. Now I'm at the end of my rope without nowhere to turn. And the pain is in my head, it's starting to give me heartburn. Taking time to analyze the situation at hand. I'm going into self-destruction mode and really don't give a damn. My mind is going psycho, and as a psycho, my mind is gone. I'm puffing on them blunts, chiefing out just like Cheech and Chong. I'm slowly gripping the rage as I sit in the cold sweat and peeping out my window, paranoid of a death threat. My heart is beating fast, blood steadily flowing. I need to scream, cause I don't know where I'm going. Sometimes I seems I can make it, but for real I can't take it. What's wrong with this picture? It's too clear to be mistaken. What's wrong? I don't know, but it's starting to drive me insane. What's wrong? What's wrong? So won't somebody please tell me? Please, are we living in vain? What's wrong? And oh Heavenly Father, forgive us because y'all wrong. What's wrong? And let us enjoy these last days before they're all
So
gone.
I'll do introduction.
What's wrong?
What's wrong? That's that man. Hard
What's
to
wrong?
hustle. Hard to hustle.
Hard.
He did that thing right there with that what's
doing his
wrong,
thing.
baby. He
doing it.
did that thing on that song. Did anybody get to hear the song on the Zoom? Just curious.
The West Side.
Yeah, I heard it.
What did you think of it?
Listen, I was over here bobbing my head to it and listening to the lyrics. I mean, it's a banger.
That's hard to hustle. He doing his thing.
Absolutely. You got me over here in this quiet building, just rocking my whole little head and all right, doing what you do.
Oh, yes.
I definitely enjoyed it.
Contributions is common. Musicians have definitely made music to send so we can put around videos. And that'll be going to the video of this beautiful lady right here, Miss Rosa McGee.
Thank you.
Slide on up to that microphone real quick so we can hear you.
Alrighty.
So thank you for coming in today. And we got one more person who don't came in. Miss Bree Holmes is on the house on Zoom.
Hey everybody, I'm trying to figure out how to work my background, but I'm right here.
So good morning and thank you for tuning in as well. Appreciate. So we got a little. Go ahead, I'm sorry. So we got a little bit of we got more folks that don't came into the building. And we thank you. And then we got beautiful Journey right here co-hosting the show. Let me put a microphone on her. Little Journey's in the house.
Hello, baby.
She don't talk much, you know. She's
Behind the scenes.
She just behind the scenes, right? Working the microphone, the iPad, and the computer thing. But Little Journey's here co-hosting as well. So thank you to everybody. And so as we started the show, we were talking and interviewing Mr. Oneway Wess for his music and all of what he has to bring to the table. So what are your plans coming up in the near future?
Really, my plans coming up is just dropping as much hits as possible. Cause that's all my plan is, just keep coming, keep coming with it. Cause like that's just all I just enjoy to do. That's just something it just brings me happy, you know, it brings me happiness just to do things I like doing, you know, and things that people like to hear, you know. Like every time people hear the West Side, it just, you know, give me a good little feeling to keep going, you know.
It's a snazzy little Bonnie and Clyde little rap duo song, for real.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely hits the spot. It's a nice little vibe, and you do bob your head listening to it.
Yeah, most definitely. You gonna feel it, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it makes you think about love on a gangster level.
Yeah. Like, it don't even have to be just the West Side. It could be any side you from, you know, east, west, north, south. You can go anywhere, you know, and just, just know you're going, you together on it. It's a together thing.
Definitely. So you got plans?
Yeah.
Coming up?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm going to Atlanta this month, to do some good promotion, and visit family and such, down there in Atlanta. That'd be my first time going to Atlanta because, I'm really just a homebody, St. Louis show me boy, ain't really been nowhere for real. So, I'm trying to, spread the love here first, but I'm going to go ahead and spread it out, a little more, and then after that, really focus on getting these videos out, have people something to see, showing who Wes is, you know what I'm saying? So, bring that out some and then just really try to expand and just touch different cities, showing what's going on in the, in the loop, them show me boys,
That's what's up, and you talking about video. So you doing it solo? You need people in this video doing their thing. What you need?
I mean, hey, it could be anybody. Like, I got too much love to be giving.
Now you better make it.
Hey,
eat up in her. Don't be like that now.
Hey, it's whoever that want to be shown, or whoever I want to represent all, you know, what we do, you know.
So basically, AKA, he need all the hot girls, all them girls that want to be like, ow, ow.
Gotta be throwing it, gotta
Right,
show
like,
some.
ow.
Show some, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you
she
know,
was giving
doing a lot of
demonstration.
flexing.
Yeah.
The and. Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody know what that mean.
You know.
You know, that's the early stage of Cardi B. You know, when you want to be ratchet but not ratchet, but be right on time.
In that order.
In that order.
In that order. So, do you have any thoughts about? Do you have a vision of what you want the video to look like, or is it just in process?
It's still in the process, but yeah, it's most definitely gonna be on my block run from Lotus. It's most definitely gonna be on Lotus.
Oh,
And,
we keep it in hood.
Yeah, we gotta keep it straight. You know what I'm saying? Straight certified.
So again, only the best elite ladies come out for this video.
Bad.
I repeat.
The baddies, you know what I'm saying?
Easy.
The baddies, you know. And then I actually I don't really have a date, but I'm trying to go for May 2nd. You know what I'm saying? Trying to go for my hood day, you know, 5200 block. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go for it. So I'm trying to push for it. So I just say that it might be on May 2nd. That's what I'm pushing for. You know what I'm saying? So
For the final finale.
For the final finale, yeah.
So is it where we all just show up, or do you want like a pre-shoot before May 2nd? Like, what's your thoughts on it?
Hey, really, it just be like just a pop-out thing, because it's already a celebration, you know, because we celebrating us, you know, being from Lotus, you know, and how long we done knew each other, and you know what I'm saying, it could, you know, you bring friends, family, you know, we got kids, you know, but you know, in the video ain't gonna be no kids, you know, but they'll be over to the side, you know, doing their thing, you know what I'm saying, but we still, you know, we watching, but you know.
Keyword, ow.
And bring a babysitter, okay? Because
What
no
you
kids,
said,
no
what you
kids in the
said.
video.
Hey, yo,
Watch your
I
kids.
will make sure
Hold
my
on.
services will be in the building. I babysit. Bring your dollars.
Hey, look, hold up, you know what I'm saying?
All
Gotta
right,
get paid.
there it is. So we got a babysitter already, you
On
know.
the shoot. At
Already.
the shoot.
At
Bring
the
kids
shoot.
with
You
you.
hear
So,
me?
hey.
I love this attitude.
That's so much love. You hear me?
Right. Because
You can still pop out, you know what I'm
You
saying?
heard me pop
you ain't
out
gotta
with
be
the
like
kids.
that.
Come
you
on,
know?
I got you.
Come
on.
on.
I ain't got number time.
Hey, that's all we got in, you know?
Because it really do take a team to make
Yeah.
everything happen.
Yeah, to make everything. Yeah, I'm telling you, like I it would have been hard for me to get all of this together without hard, because he showed me the right way. You know what I'm saying, to get all of this together the right way. You know what I'm saying. So shout out to him one more time again. You know.
Hold on, let me find that button. I got a little journey co-hosting, so things don't be the same when I turn back up.
Shout out. Again, you know, hard to hustle. Shout out.
Hard to hustle, definitely. He gets a super shout out today, baby, because he definitely has done a lot of contributions. And I want to give another shout out to Mr. Jamal Ingram, who introduced me to Mr. Hard to Hustle. Definitely, I want that artist to definitely be successful. I have his music uploaded, and he got some fire tracks. So to everybody, you know, that's, you know, in this movement that's all associated, you know, these branches is just popping off. So yes, I'm super, super excited that you are here as a guest. I'm going to give people the opportunity. What brings you into the studio? Are you one of my topics later today?
Possibly.
And what would that be, ma'am? What you going to tell the audience?
Oh, I won.
Bring that microphone up to you a little bit. I need you to echo in the speaker.
I said, oh, I won. Yeah,
You won? What you win?
I won against my landlord.
Your landlord?
I was being evicted in the pandemic.
What? What kind of house was it? Was it a good, nice house?
Oh, no. It was a quote-unquote uninhabitable residence due to non-occupancy permit.
Non-occupancy permit. So I've been trying to work on this slogan. No occupancy permit, no rent. Can we rock that? We
gonna put a little smoothness to it, but we got that.
That's
going.
what
We gonna ride
Justin
it
said. Everybody don't like all my syllables.
No
Okay.
occupancy
so
permit,
we're not in the
no
60s
rent,
anymore.
No rent. No occupancy permit.
I said no rent.
No rent.
rent.
Hey. You gotta
See what I'm
you gotta put
talking
that sauce on there. You know what I'm
Right, you heard
saying?
me right,
You'll put a little
right.
season. you know?
Right.
Okay.
Little Laurie's on there. Little Laurie's.
All right. So I'm a little rigid and frigid, apparently, which is fine because I do so
I
much.
got you. I'm here.
I need y'all for that. And
I
that's
got
what she
you.
did in the script that we wrote a couple of days ago. You know, I'm very literal. And she be like, nah, I got to say it, hood.
I was like, not really hood, but don't be so polished, but be eloquent in the same process, if it makes sense.
Right,
Yeah.
a natural conversation that
Yeah.
other people
Yes.
would have. I would say,
See, now it would be funny if we were sitting here videotaping this right now. This is literally how the script should go. How we sitting here talking. It's a conversation, and that's
Yeah.
what I was trying to get you to see. Conversations. Oh, and you ain't got to, emphasize on certain words because you already know that word is a key word.
Yeah.
Just make it flow, like you said.
Yeah.
and I am grateful for all the artistic talent that has been put into it. So now we got to do one more skit about something about going and winning the court case.
Oh yeah, I'm a tap dance on the front on court,
yeah.
Steps again.
And I'm going to ask some questions. I know Bree going to chime in when I say, has anybody been to court at this table? So we know you have.
Definitely.
And real quick, what was it like? I'm going to break this down. You know I was there. But for the audience, I'm going to break it down into parts. What was it like to get to the guards?
Okay, so we get to the guards. We had one young lady already livid. She's mad. She's upset. She's on 10. And they just simply would not call somebody upstairs to come down to give her a service that she was trying to get. But she had already previously talked to the clerk and had a number. She just trying to get upstairs to do what she was asked to do. So we standing there in awe and amaze because we coming for the same thing. So we wonder how they going to receive us. Well, they were a little more nicer than what we thought. After maybe about 15, 20 minutes of trying to find somebody to accommodate us. They were trying to blow us off, but we wasn't having it. So it was mighty funny that this little old lady who was going in there to evict somebody walked right on in.
Okay, so key thing. The lady who was coming to evict the tenant, she walked right into the courthouse. The tenants got to have a clerk come down and meet you in the lobby. Understand the complete distinction of process. Landlords go right in. Tenants have to have somebody meet you. See that?
It's crazy.
What happened to the second part when we finally, because I wasn't giving up. We getting in this.
We were
in
very
here.
persistent and got upstairs. And after we were allowed to go upstairs, we were received with a disrespectful clerk. But not right offhand. He asked us, hey, this is not how we do this. This is not what it is. That was his general way of blowing us off. Again, with our persistentness, he decided to be belligerent and said, damn, you think you know everything.
Talking to me. Because like I told him, nah,
As
we
if
ain't.
I wasn't standing there as a witness and you are a court clerk in a court legal building and this is your job. And you said, and I quote, damn, you think you know everything, ma'am, huh? You starting to get on my nerves.
Yeah.
And proceeded to print out a form that I needed to go to the WebEx room, but I didn't even need the form because they had my name for it and proceeded to send us across the street just to get out of his face. Now, the funny part about it is, again, I stated, we called ahead and had someone to meet us, but she was at lunch and wasn't able to answer her phone. So when we finally caught up with her, we had another representative across the street who was going to walk us back across the street to go ahead and help us get what we needed to do. We got it done, but it was still the point that, yeah, they was working hard to stop people from doing what they need to do.
So that was 3 roadblocks. One at the guards. The second one we get up to the 3rd floor with the clerk. And then the 3rd one when we go to the other courthouse at the Carnahan building.
Yeah, they had to call someone downstairs to assist us to take us back across the street. And by that time, the original person I called me back and came down with her stamp, and we got what we needed.
It took all of that. Just to,
all of 45 minutes just to add documents to a record.
To get it a file stamp copy.
That's
Exactly.
crazy.
That she must have to show that it hit the record. Now, on the WebEx, which I have a lot of papers here, they don't show or they don't tell the tenant what you need to do. It doesn't tell them to go file your defense on the record. Don't even mention
let's
it.
take it back further. They don't even list the number for you to call to get the information. I had to literally download a document in order to see the number to the clerk's office where Michelle, and she personally gave me her cell phone number, as well as the supervisor. And I called the supervisor first, and he told me, oh, you just have to show the documents up in front of the WebEx camera. That does not put that on the record. But that's what he is, and he's the supervisor, advised me to do.
So when you're calling by yourself as tenants or just a citizen, and you're getting these people who are in office, in positions, how if I wasn't persistent, if you didn't have someone there and you were by yourself, would you have kept going?
Yes, I would have, but I wouldn't have got far.
Why do you say that?
because again, like I said, they were persistently trying not to do what I was asking them to do.
And it takes these little nuggets of information. So like even saying, well, it's too late to file. I wasn't backing down. You can file up until that judge hits the court. Once he hits up on the bench, nah. But until that judge hits the bench, you can file. Another thing, holding papers up, what the hell is that?
The judge couldn't see me, let alone clearly see those documents.
To be able to read them. And another thing, when they come after you, do they come after you and tell you that you're being sued, or do they hand you a piece of paper that's been filed with the court?
I think they probably just come straight at you. You know what I'm saying?
No, they got to go get a court document first, baby.
Oh, yeah.
But they come in with a document of some sort.
Oh, okay.
Miss Bree.
I'm here.
What's been your experience with the courthouses?
Oh man, you know what? I cannot stand the court, and I think that's another thing. Like what y'all talking about how they kept on closing door after door after door in your face. Like it can discourage you, and so that's where you kind of lose right there. And I mean, my experience with the court, I don't even. Man, I just found out about 2-3 weeks ago that I'm being sued by MSD for a bill that I don't even owe them. Not that it was a judgment entered against me. I never got served no papers. They say that they have to serve you papers to go to court, but I don't think they do because I've been sued several times and didn't even know that I had court.
Oh no, they've served you. You just wasn't aware. I've had that. No, literally. They can say they posted, they can put it on the door, take a picture, and take that down with them and take it and leave. I've had it happen to me.
Or the other one is public posting, where they take it down to the post office. Mm-hmm. If you've ever seen all those court petitions around the post office, that's what they are. Those are called public posting notices. And that's the public place where they post it is the courthouse.
Right.
Who goes to the courthouse nowadays?
Just to see if somebody's suing you. Like, for real?
Right. Like, you need to go shop for your name.
Yeah, I just came to check and see if somebody suing me. I just,
right.
Oh, my name ain't on the list today. My name ain't on the list. It's cool. I'm cool.
I just had to stop by real quick, just make sure. All right, okay.
All right.
Right.
Hey, you going out today? I might need a ride. I might need a ride today.
Right. Everybody go to the post office. Who puts that on Facebook? Anybody going to the post office check to see if you're being sued today?
We should. We should.
I mean, you should. I mean, you need a Facebook group about this. So, to find out if you being sued by default by public posting.
Exactly.
Crazy.
See, we laugh. We don't think nothing of it when we going past those pages. But little do you know, that petition is going back to the court and somebody's getting hit with a default judgment. Because who the hell is going to the courthouse looking up their name on some papers?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody. But these are the archaic ways that they do procedures against us and expect us to comply. And then when you go in person to try to do your civic duty, you got somebody in a completely different uniform, or maybe even somebody who works there, denying you your constitutional right to go file what you need. And when you don't do it, you're considered the failure.
Yeah. Because those people that work at those places, they have no interest in helping you do anything, and most of them don't even know, how to help you do anything, and they don't care, and they don't want to help you do nothing. Like they just sitting there collecting a check, just getting paid.
Well, I beg to differ, and let me say that because Miss Michelle was the reason we won. Because if she would not have came down and been adamant about her word and personally told me that she was going to give me her cell phone number so that I could contact her once I asked her could she bring her stamp down or whatever so she can, put this on the record for me. So she actually went above and beyond. She didn't have to. She could have been just like everybody else in that building. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because the man that was being rude is literally in the office where Michelle came from. Mm. So that was our little win. That was our little way of saying, hey, you know what? Courtesy, ma'am, to you. Appreciate you. Because, again, you helping us stick it to who, is the ones out here doing that. That's why she was like, oh, I'm with tenants and a landlord, ma'am. She was talking to other tenants. They was trying to get her like, hey, because it was a feeding frenzy down there. There was so many people sitting down there waiting to find people to come from downstairs. It's like these people work on their own time. They're not even in the office half the time. So when you catch them on the phone, you're lucky. And then most people after that, they don't know where to go, you know?
Yeah, if one come down, you don't want a lottery, but you just backed up what I said. Like, Miss Michelle was one out of maybe 200, 1,000. She was like one.
I agree.
You know
I agree, but you like, can't knock the ones that do it.
Diamond in the rough. Like, everybody else down there, like, it ain't my problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. I will. That's why I said just that one person, though. I honestly say that was the reason why we got the win, and I can't even discredit her because that's just like me crediting, you know, my friend here, Raina, for helping me doing what I'm doing. I can't discredit her because she was the big key factor in helping.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Aw, dang.
Look, that was, you know, quote unquote, shout out to Brandon. You know.
Shout out.
Aw, shuckies. Yes, I do love my people. And so I try to explain to people like, nah, I do a lot. Like I go with them to the courthouses. I'm there with them. I do their defenses. You know, I prepare their paperwork. I prepare them for trial. Like, no, it's more than just saying, you know, I represent them. I literally am in these people's lives. I'm in your life almost too much in your life.
I'm going on 4 or 5 months now. Yeah.
5 months. And this is one person. So imagine how much each person were you hearing. Many people get this time and attention because it takes this to be able to see them through from start to finish.
And believe it or not, I called Rain on a humbug. It was like literally almost cosmic here because I was depressed. I found out that this lady was on the road to doing this. I got wind of it ahead of time. See, I'm a smart person. And so T'Chara, one of the aldermen of the 21st Ward, I've never met that man a day in my life and don't till this day still know how he got my phone number.
That's crazy.
But he called me out the blue one day. And so I'm being a little, you know, a little snippy or whatever with him. And like, hey, how you get my number? First question. Okay. You told me who you are. Okay, we're going to bypass that. Secondly, you want my vote? I heard this in your voice. What you finna do for me? Right. Let me tell you my story. And I said, nah, you ain't even got to personally do nothing yourself. Because I understand you running for alderman. But if you can point me in the right direction or put me in a place or in circles with people that I need to get information. Because at the time, I was trying to buy a dollar house. Now, it's funny because the entire time throughout this process, Raina, I didn't have, and she can attest, I didn't have 2 cents to my name and I was getting unemployment. I closed on my house Friday.
Man.
And I'm actually looking at an investment property.
Congratulations.
So it was, like I said, almost cosmic that she was put in the right place at the right time for things to correspond. And now on my end, I was working on the back end to get funds. See, like I told my landlord, it was never the problem. And she could even attest to that in court. She didn't have a problem with me about paying rent. She didn't have a problem with me actually per se because I was a great tenant. When I got to complaining and she didn't want to fix nothing, oh, now that's the problem. Wow. But then you was already doing something you ain't had no business, and then I got educated. So that was your bad. That was your bad and your downfall because you kind of told on yourself in court. You corroborated the things that I said. So you kind of helped me hang you in the process. You know?
And so real quick, I'm going to turn it over to Brian because I want to talk to Brian. Me and her go way back. So real quick, I want to ask a few quick questions. So in the court proceeding, for example, do you believe that you would have won had that court case not been filed with the court and the judge could actually read the papers himself?
Absolutely.
Do you think, how many people have somebody beside them helping them file a court defense?
Nobody, because when you call them, they tell you that they cannot give you legal advice. That's number one. Mm-hmm. They say they direct you to an attorney. An attorney will listen to you maybe 10 or 15 minutes. But they're not going to spend time. You're going to have to get that attorney a deposit. They finna let you know, we can't guarantee nothing. We can't do this. We can't do that. You know, but hey, give me $500. Give me $2,500. And you thinking like, wait a minute. You told me everything you can't do and what ain't promised. And then you want my money. And you're not really giving me like no type of, you're not even making me feel like, no kind of encouragement. You're not even making me feel like I could be just taking my money and throwing it down the drain. And like I'm already dealing with one issue. So like most people do not have somebody that goes with them and tells them like what paperwork to file. And literally that's what you pay an attorney for. The paralegal like files all your paperwork, and that's what you pay him for. Is so to have somebody to kind of point you in the right direction, even though Raina is not the one like just gonna do every single thing for you, because it's a learning process. Like you got to know how to defend yourself. Missouri is a state that you can self-represent. Yeah, a lot of people don't have people that's gonna walk with them and kind of show them and teach them how to defend themselves against these archaic systems. Like they know what they doing. They know what they doing to really basically steal your money, because that's really what it's all about.
So what y'all just articulated, from the guards to the clerk talking crazy to having a call, but the landlord can go right through. What you're talking about, that is the system. But you're talking about it in a way to where people could understand it. Easily. Instead of screaming and hollering and yelling.
And making it difficult. Because
holding a sign, what the hell is that going to do for me when I got court and I need to get this paper put in front of a judge? Nothing. And so that's how we've allowed society to manipulate people doing all these extra things. But in reality, when it boils down to it, none of that is going to solve any of my problems. The only way was to solve her problem was to get her defense filed on the court record in front of the judge. Without that, he would have never seen and been able to read with her holding it up on a screen. What did we file? Probably 16 exhibits? Mm-hmm. At least 16 pages of exhibits from building inspectors.
I got bored.
Occupancy permits, text messages. I presented everything on the court record that is needed to show that the tenant complained to the landlord, that they were aware, that the building inspector came out and found the same issues that she had and confirmed them, and wrote a report to verify that the conditions of the building exist. I'm going to ask, how many of you would know to contact the building inspectors?
I wasn't even aware that they had a citizens bureau to complain. That's who you originally supposed to complain to, and they legally put it on the record. Are any of y'all aware of that? They are in the same building as the LRA, in the same building on the 4th floor as unemployment. So it's the floor up over unemployment, and I go in that building faithfully. I even went in there to court and had no clue that the place that you're supposed to complain on your landlords is in that building on the 4th floor.
Well, now you know.
I know, right?
Now you know. Put some used to, you know.
Would you know where to go if you had a landlord-tenant complaint?
Really? Nah. I wouldn't. Nah. No.
Bree, she spoke about calling the legal services. So I want to say right here before I turn it over, it's what she said. So if you call the people that's designed for you to call and they don't represent you, then what happens to you?
You just be on your own.
So you on your own. So that puts us back to running to the courthouse trying to file a pro se defense. So now you got to go it all over again.
That's crazy.
You got to get through the guards. You got to try to get to the 3rd floor to be cussed at and talk crazy to be sent to another building.
To turn around and come back to the lobby of the original building you started in.
To see another woman in distress when you first pull up, she can't even get what she needed. So when I walked up, after seeing her in distress, I said to the guards, we're here for what she's here for. So then when the older lady came to file the landlord papers, now that was beautiful, the order and what happened. So I utilized her. So you just going to open up and pretty much move open the red carpet for her. She can go right up to the desk and go file a petition for a landlord, but we got to stand here and wait. We can't do nothing.
That is true.
What are some solutions? What do you need from the court to help you, Bree? What do you need?
That's the whole thing. Like, I guess I just need to know what forms to file and who to file them to.
And how to write them.
Yeah, how to write them. Absolutely, because like I've been in court and they was like, and I just went in there, like talking real, like, not cussing or nothing like that, but let them know like this is that, this ain't that. They like, you don't even know the legal terminology. Y'all showing the hell don't know no damn legal terminology. I'm telling you what it is. Like, I don't owe this. Like, what's the legal word for do not owe? Like, flat out. Like, so it's like what you want me to say? Whereas and shall, and whereas I don't owe, and I shall not pay because I do not owe. Like, how many times, like, with legal jargon, you got to repeat the same thing over and over again, like the Bible. Like, how many times y'all want me to tell you, like, this is bogus? Like, how many words you want me to use? Fraudulent, bogus, fake, not real. Like, what you want me to say? What is the legal word for that? And so they be looking like, man, you doing too much. Like, I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just trying to say, like, hey, this ain't right. Y'all know it ain't right. Now, how do you fix it? So it's like that. Like, they play off of your ignorance of how not knowing the legal jargon or terminology, not knowing like how to fix whatever the situation is, because most times it be a simple fix, but you don't know it, so they make it complicated. And the fact that you kind of going around in circles with it, let them know that you don't know, so they be playing games. So basically, that's what I need. I need to know what forms to file, how to write them, because I can't write and spell and read, and the process, like who to send it to and what to expect, kind of like step by step.
And that's it right there, because normally it does come in 3 steps. You need the seed of understanding. You need to understand the process of where to go. And then you need to know the context of actually to where or how it happens once you get to that step. So I have somebody call in. Do we have a caller on the line? Caller on the line? Okay, I may have lost them. Or I think they may have hung up because I waited too long. But hey, Hey, Chris Collins.
Yes, ma'am. How are you today?
I am well. I seen you snuck over there in the corner after the show got started. Sorry. Want to definitely give you a good morning shout out.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I got it a little late today, but just been sitting here filling myself in on what you guys are covering today, and want to say congratulations on the case this week. This is most definitely the first of many, and I know that it's gonna, if people can start sharing this broadcast and actually get on and educate for 2 hours, figure out what you might need. This will be a whole lot easier for everyone. So I just want to say thank you, and I'm just sitting back listening. Did you have a question you wanted to ask me?
I want to thank you first. You sound real good. You sound loud. We can all hear you. Right there, let me start there with the basics. I appreciate you for that, because that makes such a difference. We'll be in the studio, ear all in the microphone, trying to hear, right, squeezing the microphone in our eardrum, trying to hear you. So thank you. That's what's up. And yeah, we got a question. So how is Hope for Housing doing?
We're doing wonderful. I put a $30,000 cashier's check in the bank yesterday, and I'm purchasing the 2.5 acres. We are starting a youth program here in Bloomington in June, and we're going to get the homeless off the street in McLean County, the largest county in Illinois, this summer. And I've got a presentation today from the University of Munich that has done the drawings and the renderings and everything for the facility, and it's all individual living with the resources, the community areas, and there would be 1 acre of that 2.5 acres will be a park and grassland area for everybody.
That is excellent. Can I clap for that?
Okay, hold on. Let me hit the. I'm sorry. I love her. Hold on. So that is wonderful news to hear. That is absolutely wonderful news.
Yep.
So now I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Oneway Wess.
Hey, what's going on?
You have some paperwork in front of you.
Yep.
And one of them is white with red background on it or whatever. Yeah. Can you tell us the name of that organization on that paperwork?
It says the Urban League.
The Urban League. And is there an address on that paperwork?
Yeah, the address says 935 North Vander, St. Louis Mo 63108.
So that's where most people go. It's on Vanderbender to the Urban League.
Mm-hmm.
So that voucher, do you know what it look? Can you give us a little bit about that paper you looking at?
This voucher right? The other paper. Okay, let me look at this other paper. Okay.
What does that look like? Copy of what?
Copy of a check. That's what I'm saying.
Copy of a check.
Yep, paid. Mm-hmm. Says paid $2,525.
$2,525. Now, what if that money was paid to a slumlord?
And not paid to the person that the taxes came from?
Well, I mean, and not paid for a property that's up to a standard. Is that how you want your tax dollars spent?
Nah, it shouldn't even be like that. You know, that's not even right.
That ain't nothing but a rental sugar daddy.
A rental sugar daddy. Stay tuned for the video.
That's crazy that you said it like that, though.
It's in our video. When I mean she flipped our words around in that video, baby, she did some flipping. So rental sugar daddies, that's coming in our video that we're doing coming up real soon. That's the rental sugar daddies that we're talking
and
about.
our tax doctors, they tricking off.
So imagine if they're paying $2,525 per person, for example, but it's going to slumlords. What would you expect, or how would you expect that money, if it had to be, well, first of all, would you expect the money to have to be returned? Let me start there.
Yes. Like, that's right off top. It has to be. Like, it shouldn't even be no going around, hold on, let's think about this. Let's check and see if it goes to you. Nah, like, come on now, you taking it from me. Let me go and get it back. Ain't that how it's supposed to go?
I mean, that's how it's supposed to go. Because it wasn't supposed to go to no slumlords.
Hey, something ain't right. You know
something ain't right. So what would you need for me to prove that that property is a slum property? What should I have to prove anything to you, or are you just gonna take me for my word?
You gotta approve everything. Everything has to be approved.
So can you look at some documents? Nope, on the other side. Yeah. Can you look and just read the first page, but go to that or read that page you're holding? I think it says something about over something.
Over.
That one of the violations he gave that property was over. See, he's reading, y'all.
So we're trying to see. Well, I see some of these violations they're talking about.
See one that
ceiling
says
tile, ceiling water damage, heating unit vent, rodents. Yeah.
See one for overcrowded.
No. Let me look at these other pages.
Oh, it might be a different report. There was two reports written.
Yeah.
So hold on, I might have did you wrong.
Yeah, on her.
Oh, it's on this one. So right, I figured I did you wrong.
It's all good.
My bad. It was two reports written on the property, not just one. When I had it inspected.
Overcrowded, HCD. Okay.
Overcrowded.
Unit is occupied by more persons than allowed in conversations area. Reduced number of occupants. Contact inspector for information.
Overcrowded. Too many people. Now, can you read the occupancy permit right there? That got your hand on it. Yes.
All right. Okay. This occupancy permit says this certifies the unit property at 4240 how you say that? Kasu 1F St. Louis Mo 63115 has been inspected by the Division of Building and Inspection and has complied with applicable provisions of the ordinances of the St. Louis as amended and may be occupied as a one-family unit with occupancy limited to 2 persons. That's what it says.
That's what so the occupancy permit said. How many family unit?
2.
2 people per one family unit.
Yes, one family unit.
One family unit.
Yeah.
So the inspection report that I showed you that's recent said it was over.
Over 2 people?
Yeah, it was overcrowded.
Yeah, it was overcrowded. Yeah.
So is that what you would need to see for me to show you that occupancy permit would have been invalid because it only says one family unit?
Mm-hmm.
But when we did the inspection, the inspector found multiple families and it was overcrowded.
Right.
So do I convince you that I've done my job through documents and research to show that the occupancy permit that was issued on the property is invalid?
Mm-hmm.
And that the building has been inspected and multiple violations occurred.
Yeah.
And so hence any money that was given to that property was given to a slumlord.
And not given to the people.
No.
And it's not. And so I want to be clear. Rental assistance is never given to you. It's given through your name. Utility assistance is never given to you. It's given through your name. Please understand this is how they keep the system funneled through your name. That makes any sense? Mm-hmm. Your name is put on a piece of paper, but somebody else gets the money on behalf of your name. You don't get it.
It's crazy.
And that's one of the things.
And it's just going on behind people's back, and they not even knowing about it.
Well, you know about it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know that when you go and get utility assistance, that the utility company is getting paid. What you're not thinking about is that it's paying for a slum property, or maybe that you are thinking about it, but nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody is stopping the flow of money from one organization to the next because the system is written not to. When you go get utility assistance, when you go get rental assistance, I have the applications right here. There's not one single question that says, does the property have an occupancy permit? Has it been inspected?
Not one time.
You understand?
Yep.
So if you skip the very first step, is the property safe? Is the property habitable? And just move into, I'm paying rent for the property. Well, that's how people can say, I didn't know. And my question is, wasn't it your job to know?
It's your job.
It's your job and it's the landlord's job. It's not just their fault.
But they put it on the tenant. So a lot of times they say the tenant should know, like she said, she didn't know about the Citizen Service Bureau. They say the tenant should know everything. Good morning, Jim Price.
Good morning.
See, you just zoomed in.
Sorry about that. I got tied up on the job there, and I'm actually driving, so I'm being very safe right now.
All right, you be
Trust
safe.
me.
Appreciate you tuning in. That's Jim Price of the Jim Price Show, which I'll give him a little chance to speak in a hot second. So he has his own show. He does a lot with politics, and we want to bring him in. He's been on the show before. And so the idea is we're all in this fight. We're all in this war together. And this is the way that we do unity and combine. So if his group got people going through, illegal evictions, there's no reason why we can't support them, and there's no reason why he can't support us.
Okay.
But the idea is we have to learn how to support each other here in the communities before you bring outside people in, because what happens, you will get taken over. Once they learn the information, they don't need you. So the idea is you become the table, because they don't have these documents. They don't know what house doesn't have an occupancy permit, and they ain't going to take the time to find out either.
Nope.
But you're already right here,
I know.
and the case has already been won.
I know.
Already.
So we have the documents. And look at you. You just educate yourself about how nonprofits are distributing our government tax dollars through rental assistance to slum properties.
Yeah, I didn't really know about it until now. So, yeah, that's some good information to know about, really.
So let's just say for you how it works. What if you wanted a property by one of the, let's just use City of St. Louis.
Right.
For example. Now, this is not a good case to utilize for that. I have other cases where the building inspector did approve the buildings in the city of St. Louis, Mr. Gerald Kiefer. Now, in those inspections, there were occupancy permits, but they should have never been issued. So, and that's why it's very important to have these different cases. Because if you say, well, all of them are condemned, let's do it together. Because you're going to let a lot of people get away. Because everybody don't have the same story. They have the same theme, but their stories aren't the same.
Right.
I took, what roads did I took? Kings Highway, 64, and then Hampton to get here. How did you get to the studio?
No, I got on
I think I took
40,
the same,
70, round downtown, round 44, just to get here.
And you took what to
I
get
took
here?
Same way you did too. Yeah.
Oh, we're in the same area.
Hey, I was coming from O'Fallon, Illinois, so I had a little journey.
But the point is, we all got here,
Yeah.
but we all came from three different directions to get here. Or two, maybe similar. But I'm sure we started differently because we started off at different blocks. So technically, three.
Yeah.
We didn't start at the same point.
Right.
So if I told my story ain't going to reflect your story.
Of course not.
Jim Price says, should there be... I'm going to let you on, Jim. I know you're going to talk to me, baby.
Well, my truck's a little loud going down the freeway because I don't. Anyway,
Should
I
there...
cut the exhaust off of it. It's a brand new truck. I want it to be loud, so anyway, it's a little loud going down the road. What I wanted to say was, should there be a register, some type of an ability for people to check building or renters not renters, but building owners, that either there's been complaints about the building or the building itself is not in code, so that on this register, if you're going to go rent a place, you can just go click real quick, see if that address comes up as a complaint list or that it's not within code. I mean, it's not
there currently is not. It's kind of like what you're asking is like at Angie's List. Can you pre-check something out before you go use it?
Right, like a Better Business Bureau effect.
Yeah, there's not. I just found out about the Citizens Bureau, and that's where you're legally supposed to go to complain to the city. They, ergo, will go and put a report out for the building inspectors, the health inspectors, and all of them. They will actually get in touch with them in order for you to get, but then when they fall short because they can't get in the properties, because why? The landlords will tell the tenants to not put them in, like my landlord instructed me not to do. They're not getting in to see the damages of the properties because the people are afraid they're going to lose their housing or something's going to happen to where, so they're either cooperating with the landlord or they're not educated enough or they're not there to know that they're here to help you. So they can't get in to do what you need to do.
So I want to throw in, you can go online and see that buildings have occupancy permits or not. It's through the city of St. Louis. The real test is knowing where to go on the City of St. Louis website to get the information to be able to see this information.
Well, yeah, and that's the knowledge base part of it, the knowledge of knowing where to go so you're not a victim, so you have better understanding. But at the same time, some of those government websites seem like they're built so you can never find the real information about anything that's really going on. Just like the big V word everybody's getting put in their skin right now. There's some real there's a lot of information on those websites. They'll tell you about those, but they'll also tell you they're not FDA approved, but yet everybody's running around getting them. The idea is that I was just trying to figure out how to be able to create a group or create a centralized information that just random people could, hey, is my apartment worth renting, or is this a safe place, or is this place been verified? And we have all this other verification stuff going on all the time for social influencers. Why aren't we doing that for a place that you're going to put all your stuff?
I agree. Correct. So one of the things, what you just said as a solution, you're correct. It needs to be put up on cities' websites. Every municipality needs to have a space and place for tenants. A lot of times when you go on the municipality website, there is no link you click for tenants. Or if it is, it's very vague information. But you can click on tabs for landlord resources all over. It'll go to tab, to tab, to tab. It's tenants that don't have the proper information available to them.
Well, that sad part of that is that actually that statement right there verifies that not everybody is treated the same, and it shows what the city puts the value over one over the other. So the landowner obviously has more priority because they're giving them all these resources as opposed to the person who's trying to live there and have all their stuff there.
Of course, and I want everybody to understand that we're talking about archaic systems. So it was never designed for it to be fair to the tenant. You know, once again, we got to really understand what we're saying. If we believe that this is old and never changed, you're right. It is old and never changed. And no, they didn't put in no provisions for the tenant or the serf back in older days. And we were called serfs.
Right.
The people who worked the land. Serfs didn't have rights. They were considered third-class people. That's what we're considered as tenants, third-class people. And those people wrote the laws. So no, it wasn't written that we could ever have an avenue to get out of our suffering or to be able to get justification or enrichment or to be paid our value.
So could we create a piece of legislation, and I hate saying this because I'm an anti-law. I don't like laws. I don't like more rules. I don't like more regulations. But I'm going to say this in spite of all that. Is there a legislation that we can say that when you go to sign your lease, that they have to show you documentation that they are currently within compliance to be occupied, having a building occupancy or a load of certain. I mean, is there a way we can write legislation that so it puts the onus on the owner of the property to let all tenants know, and if that tenant does not get a copy of that current certification, then there is liability that they can go back on the landowner or the building owner and say, hey, you did not give me the documentation that showed me that this place is a piece of junk.
Well,
all right.
Is there
it should be
simple verbiage?
I'm sorry, that would probably be an amendment to the Housing Conservation Act.
So here's two things I'm going to say to that. Number one is the thing called House Bill 1510 that they wrote that said that tenants no longer wanted to do an interior inspection. Let this all sink in. So they wrote that tenants want to pull up to a property and do no interior inspection. You just want to see the outside and move in. It was literally going to become a law to where they literally would turn over the keys to you without having you even come in and see the property. It did not pass, but it doesn't mean they won't write another piece of legislation to make it happen. The second thing to answer your question that can be easily done, when you go to a restaurant and you walk up and you see it's been inspected?
Right.
That's the same thing that can happen for rental properties. Everybody should have an inspection right there on the door or somewhere very visible when you walk in that says this property has been inspected and a date. And of course, they have to renew it just like you do a vehicle. Same process, same thing as a restaurant. So I think that would be more compliant and easier because the laws have been written. It says they're supposed to be held accountable. It says all that. Exactly. It's just not enforced. So really the thing is coming up with something new to take over the gap. So if I walked up to a rental property and there was a sticker on the door that said A, B, C, D, at least that would let me know that it has been inspected.
Right.
So that will be your legislation that you're approaching. I've just had a little bit longer time to think about it. And I'm not saying that I'm still not with what you said, but I think that would resolve what you're thinking.
Right. Well, again, it just gives it to where people don't have to know about this process. It's just offered straight to them and avoids the con job, which is basically everything that we're talking about. It's just a con job. They know they're out of spec. They know they're outside of the code. They know that they don't have the building occupancy like they should. They know they've done things that are shady. But the problem is this puts everything back on the property owner to be a valid property. Why is it that, hey, if I'm going to go make tacos, I got to have a health inspection. But if I'm going to give you a place to live, nobody cares. Like, think about that. You're only going to eat for so many minutes, but yet you're going to spend your entire life inside of a structure that I'm going to rent to you, and then I don't have any responsibility to that? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense at all.
You don't even know if the place going to cave in on you or not because it ain't been checked.
Speaking of caving in.
I have a bathroom ceiling that's about to cave in.
Or if it's right with mold, or if it's something that you can't see or smell that's getting into system. Like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
So,
like my
Yeah.
apartment doesn't have any carbon monoxide detectors, doesn't have any smoke detectors.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what I just won. She literally wanted to come for me for $2,400, and then when we got to court, they said, "Oh, you can ask for March and April's rent." She lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh well, yeah, I want that money too. But then she got mad and said I was playing lawyer when they told her that she couldn't get a dime because it was ergo condemned because you did not want to do anything while I was here. So you're getting what you wanted. I'm moving. You're
Right.
getting your property back, but I don't owe you anything, and you owe me money, actually.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah, that's sad.
so Bree.
Shouldn't be that way.
yes.
Hearing someone really try to understand and try to really work through our problems.
Uh-huh.
What does that make you feel like? Does it give you any thoughts, any hope, any suggestions? I'm just curious.
Well, I like that that Jim brought up legislative change, policy. Kind of gives me, policy change. The idea of it kind of gets me kind of hot and bothered. Sorry for oversharing.
Whoa, it's a different kind of show. I want to listen. Go ahead.
Well, good morning, Miss Bree.
Well, policy change kind of gets me going. Raina knows me. I like to. There are several arms of policy change. Okay, so first of all, we got to identify what is the change that we want to see, because we need to have a game plan going in. Everybody in the line does not know. However, I am an activist. I protest. I have no problem showing up 50 deep, 100 deep, asking a question very mildly, very respectfully, with some people behind me. And I think that when you talk about pushing legislation, you have to have some muscle in with it. And so I'm trying to figure out how many people on the line will show up, not violence, not breaking out windows, not going to jail. We don't break laws. But how many people will actually show up and stand, as opposed to being on the call talking amongst ourselves? Because if one person, it's strength in numbers. So if one person show up and they have an issue, that's one thing. But if 10, 25, 100 people show up, then that sparks a change. And if you look at, the movements and the protests that's been going on, things moved a little bit because a lot of people showed up. So when it comes to tenants' rights, owners have no incentive to really, because they winning, they have no incentive to give power to the little guy. They make money off the little guy. So it takes a lot of little guys to kind of get together and say, hey, you're not just finna step on me and treat me any type of way. So that's the first thing that I thought of. When he mentioned policy change, I was on it yeah.
So here's the thing. We heard you, little naked lady. Are you got clothes on still?
Oh,
I'll put them back on.
Okay, just checking.
all right.
Now, come on. Now, let's go back to a minute ago.
See, that's a whole nother
So
conversation,
I just wanted to say, it will require policy change for the little stickers to be put on the doors. You understand? So I'm not knocking what he said. He's right. But to even get stickers put on the rental doors, there's your policy change that would need to be written. Or
Right.
whether it's putting it on, tabs need to be put on municipality websites. That's all the policy change. It needs to be written.
Sound like we need a pen and paper then, huh?
I got mine. Where y'all?
So is
Well,
it
we can do it like
something
a
that
credit score. Think
Huh?
about if you had it like a credit score, where it can show that there's been infractions in the past, so their number isn't all the way where it should be, and it's still recovering, just like they do a credit score. Why couldn't we do the same exact idea? It's well, yeah, you're in compliance, but you've had violations in the past, which means that you have to, kind of outperform the others.
Oh, I like that.
We're in the position of, if you've had past violations, you owe people money. You know, you owe people a refund, and let's start turning those properties over back to the people, because we have a homeless problem that's ridiculous. And if people had to refund the money that they have been receiving from slum properties that do not have occupancy permits, that would give every community an opportunity to heal their homeless issue. Now, the other part, real quick, and I'm going to turn it back over. Mr. Oneway Wess read, Jim, you came in a little late. The Urban League paid how much for this condemned house?
It's like about
Coming to that microphone.
about $2,525.
So Urban League paid $2,525. So that money should still go to the tenant, but now it should be held. So if the tenant decides, which this lady says she's purchasing a house, that $2,525 should go to her or go into the house for repairs, windows, roofing, whatever, because she's buying a house.
Right.
So now she doesn't have to keep coming back to the system asking for help, because she's getting what she needs from the federal tax dollars and how it's designed.
Right.
Does that make any sense?
Makes
Yeah.
all sense.
Yeah, that rental sugar daddy need to trick off
Well,
over her.
A lot of that too, you got to think about it. If you're going to say, okay, this stuff needs to be changed, we shouldn't be always looking at trying to get people out of those places, but get the places fixed that they're in, so they're not having to have the cost of moving and all those other things. But also put a stay on the rent, so that way they're allowed to recover and the repairs get done. So it's an incentive, incentivizes the property owner. You're not going to get rent until you fix it, and this person's going to stay there until you get it right.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
And that's the point, to stop pushing people out. They've already been in the properties for how knows how long, for years. So to tell these people to just get out now, are you serious? They've been in there forever.
It is
Well, yeah.
their home, even if someone else owns it.
So turn it back over to them and let them get the money through the Urban League and all these different places, and let them now fix the property that they've been paying for this whole time anyway, that our tax dollars has been paying for anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I mean? The system still applies, but what we want is to be able to have access to those funds. So the first step is showing, because a nonprofit or like Urban League is paying the slumlords, that's a huge deal. So we need people to be on a committee to want to divert, which goes back to Jim. That's the public policy part. The other part
Right.
that makes it beautiful, and then I'm going to turn it back over. I promise I'm going to shut up.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
dang,
I
everybody that
wasn't
like.
laughing at you.
I was.
I'm going to shut up, I promise. So the other part, because I want to make sure I put a lot of time in this, so there are avenues of understanding to this. That everybody does not want the same things. That's something else that has to be respected. Not everybody wants to be a homeowner. Not everybody wants the houses they pay all this rent to. Some people do. Not everybody does, though. So getting the understanding of trying to fit the resolution with the people is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the biggest thing is to remember not to create more damage than what's already been done. Let's not make insult into injury, by either creating more drama, more effect, or displacing the person who has obviously got themselves in a bear trap. So that's not, we got to make sure that we think of those things so it doesn't make it worse.
And that's what I wanted to chime in about is we need to treat every situation as an individual, not as a category. And that way we can address problems individually, because everyone has a different one. A lot of them might carry into the same area, but our lives are all different. And just because someone rents a home and has been there and they're done paid it off for these other people and everything else, they went into that business to be a landlord. If they're being a slumlord and the things aren't up to code and all that, we need a renters association to where if you're going to rent a property, then you're part of this association and you have a voice. talk about where you're moving into, and this is the way we can make policy change. And your new mayor says that they are open for this, and they will step out of the way so that us nonprofits can step up and do what we need to do to fix what the situations that are happening on a daily basis.
What if we were to team up with like renters.com or one of those renter services like that, to where they started putting into their system a merit-based or a review system that allows us to be able to see prior or past comments on a place that has been rented?
I have a connection with Mary's Watch. That's exactly what they wanted to do with Mary's Watch, is create a portal to where you could put your complaints there, you could pay your rent, to make it a very open public forum for tenants.
Right.
Yeah, that would be a very good idea. And being able to get the information to every person. And people aren't watching the news. They're not all watching these podcasts. They're not listening to the radio. They're not all hearing the message. And if we all stand up and unite in the United States, we've never done that before. No one can ever say they've seen it, but we do have the ability, and know that not everybody wants the same thing. That's the part. They don't know what they really do want, because what they're seeing is people struggling, people dying, people getting kicked out, and other people taking advantage of them, charging them astronomical rents for something that will actually make them sick. If we all come together, do something positive, and embrace our children, because we want to make sure that they are part of this, because they are the future. All of us aren't going to be here, but they are, and we need to set it up for them so they don't have to repeat the problems that we're doing and fixing as we're going.
So right now, I have a pen and paper, because for a Tuesday show with Fordham University, that's exactly what they're studying, is legal and illegal evictions. We will have 2 professors, I believe, on the show that evening. And so one of the things I wanted to have this pre-conversation with everyone that wanted to be a part, so we can have an idea of what organization looks like, so we can actually come with a good, solid presentation. So with Ms. Rhoda Rycroft here, and her going to court and being evicted out of this property that Urban League paid the $2,525. This is a perfect example of a model that went through an eviction when there was an eviction moratorium, because a lot of people believe nobody's being evicted. So we want to definitely bring that out. They are being evicted and have been through Zoom. Number 2, we've already won that case. So it's not like we barking up a tree. We won. No occupancy permit, no rent. Number 3, we have a gentleman here. He wants to own property. So guess what? If these property owners have other properties, then there's a way, considering how much we're owed back. Hell, I'll take all the properties. And then maybe this man right here can take an extra property. He can buy it from us and do something with it. And now he's a homeowner, a business owner, an entrepreneur. He's whatever he want to be. But he's not paying an arm and a leg for something that's raggedy. Bree is going through court. She needs help. She needs things done down. So this is a way that we can literally help each person that we agree to. I got to get Bree's paperwork in here and look at her case. But this is what this is called, an audit. Right now we're doing an eviction audit. We can do criminal audits. We can do whatever audits we want. We just need to come together and make sure we understand what we're doing.
You'll allow there, Jim.
Right. Go ahead, Jim. You took over.
Oh, sorry. I'm messing with my phone. Sorry. God dang it.
It's all good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's one thing I was thinking about. Where's the Better Business Bureau on this whole thing?
I mean, this is what they supposedly say that they're doing for all businesses anyway, is rating all these businesses. Why aren't they rating? This is still a business. Why aren't they rating these renters, these rental companies?
Well, if you're a private owner, not all of them are being rented. You know, just because you have a business doesn't mean that you're even with the Better Business Bureau. You have to go sign up to be a part of that. They're not going to come out and look for you. So that's one distinction.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
true. God dang it.
So
It just seems like there's all these things out there, but it seems like nobody really does anything. Everybody has a purpose, but nobody does anything for real.
But it was
They're
set
not-
up that way.
They're
Remember?
not collaborating together and working together to fix the problem, and that means they're part of the problem. And they're just one of the Band-Aids out here that you can go up and put over your wound for a little while. And it's time to put stitches and antibiotics in it, and that's basically what Raina's been working on for years. I'm just glad that I was able to come part and be part of this. Now, what do we got? About 6 months in now? And you know what? We just won. This is huge. It only took Roe versus Wade for them to bring it up in every court case that it pertains to. So guess what? We have made something unprecedented. Now, let's press it and do something great and give everyone some hope.
You got it. It only takes one court case to open up a door for many, many people. And each one of these models does a different door. You got it. Not everybody arrived here at the same way, the same place, the same action. So we must treat them separately, but we can always theme them out that qualify. And so now, all this violence is no more than anger physically acted out. We can now start to gravitate to some of this violence that's out here, because now we can hit to the people's anger before they become violent. And a lot of people are angry just because they cannot get out of traps. They can't get through the guards. They get cussed out when they get to the clerk's office. They're getting sent across the street to the wrong courthouse. They're calling the legal officers telling them they can't help them. They can't represent them. They can't give them legal advice. You know, it goes on and on because nobody is doing what needs to be done. That is what we're complaining about. So in a systematic order, if Jim, you want to be over policy, that's great. You have a huge following. Huge.
And he has a lot of knowledge. That man is so smart, and I most definitely listen and share what he does. He teaches me daily. So I appreciate Jim, and I'm so glad that I was able to invite him here.
I was just about to give you a shout out for that, Chris. Yeah, thank you to Chris for hooking me up with Jim.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Well, guys, you know, it's we're in all this together. It's not a us versus them. It's we the people. I mean, that's the biggest answer to everything we're doing here is, yeah, the larger the group, the louder the voice, the more that gets done. If we all keep quiet, we're all fearful, we all hide our tails, nothing gets done. We can change things, we can do things, but we have to do it together. We got to quit looking for silly stuff to get us divided. And that's what the establishment has been the best at, is dividing us by the color of our skin, what's between our legs, and what we do in our bedroom. And they get us distracted away from what we should be doing, which is making sure that people have secure housing and secure food sources. Why is that such a hard thing for most people to understand when that's the basic needs of every human being?
Because
you hear it up there. Wow. You know, that's the part. We're going to be the change, because if we embrace our children, they will learn what we teach them. Well, let's start learning ourselves. I love learning. I'm 49 years old, and they say old dogs can't learn new tricks. And I'll tell you what, I learn new tricks every day. But they're not just tricks that are going to fool somebody. This is something that's going to fulfill somebody.
Absolutely. So to be able to learn, that means there's a court case. That means there's a person. That means there's documents. And if you don't know that the city building inspector, condemned the building, if you don't know that the occupancy permit was expired, like it's simple things. But if you don't know those little details, you can't help the situation.
One thing I want to remind everybody who's listening and who's in the panel here is that the sheriff, if you don't have an intimate relationship with who you elected as sheriff, if you're not paying attention to how the hierarchy or the power structure works within your community. Your sheriff is really a huge hinge for everything. And if you have an understanding of what they think and how they think, and then you could get in the wheelhouse of what they're doing and understand, hey, we have these things going on. What can you do to help us? What can you do to curb this? What can you do to slow this down when we're pulling people out of homes? What can we do together and make that change? And I'm not talking about St. Louis. I'm talking about every single county in America has this opportunity to understand their sheriff, but also a relationship with your DA, and then also the head of building code enforcement. If you get that intimate relationship, and I say intimate, I mean that the guy, his kids, his wife, where he went to school, because you have to build that relationship so that he understands you and you understand him or her, and they are able to help you or get you through some of these things and say, hey, let's do this together. Let's make sure we're not going to create more drama. Let's see if we can minimize this and make everybody happier. But if they're just getting a document, they're just going to go off the document saying, hey, I'm doing my job. They're forgetting the human element of this. So we have to understand it's all about interpersonal relationships, but also we stand together. Don't get divided over stuff.
It's like a clock. I just want to be quick. Look at it like a clock. If somebody decides to be the 12 o'clock hand, if somebody's the 5 o'clock hand, if somebody's the 9 o'clock hand, the 9 o'clock hand shouldn't be fighting with the 2 o'clock hand. The 9 o'clock shouldn't be speaking before the 2 o'clock hand either. Everybody needs to know where they're at on this clock and have respect to be able to move in a coordinated fashion. That is what creates momentum.
So one of the things that basically we've been talking about is, what is your talent? So we know that there are people on this panel and there are people in the audience that are listening that have certain talents. And God gave you a talent, and that talent isn't always speaking. That talent isn't always cooking, and that talent isn't always flying a plane. But whatever your talent is, you need to find out what that is and then use it to the best of your ability to make the world around you a better place. And if you can see that there's a need, fill it. Don't complain about it. Don't wait for it. Don't wait for the bureaucracy to get there. Don't wait for the law to do this. No, fill the need. Get outside of ourselves. Think of other people. Whatever your talent is, if you're using that to the best of your ability, God will bless you in ways that you can't understand. But if you don't live in faith, knowing that you have a talent that can bless those around you, if you don't live in that faith, you'll never be blessed. You're faking it. If you're not out there living in faith and understanding the world around you is better because you use your talent. Your talent is your tool. So go out there and get it done.
That's right. We got specialties. Every one of us have lived our lives, become professional people, had our lives taken from us. But everybody has a purpose. And I was 32 years old before I realized what mine was, but I just didn't know how literal I was saying what I was saying.
So
but you know what? Today it's real. Things are happening. Lives are changing. But if we all do something and come together as one common goal, and that's to get this right, we can give our children a future that we've always dreamed of, that we didn't think would ever happen. We can all together by putting our hands in and doing our specialties. We do all have a positive purpose to do, and I appreciate everybody on the panel. And yes, we'll just have to figure out exactly what our clock hand is, or whether or not we're a couple of them, because together we can do it. But if you go at it where we're all singled out and we got to do this, this, and this, it's a lot on it. But see, I know as this panel is, if I need help, I can make a phone call.
You got it.
I'm going to get an answer. So we're not in this as an individual. We are in this together in unity, in your community, giving an equal opportunity. So wherever you are and hearing this message, it is in your community because you're there. Reach out to us. We will help you in any way we can.
Miss Bree.
I'm here.
You listed 3 things that you need. Please explain to the gentleman. Jim Price came in late. Please let him hear, what do you need to help solve your problem?
Well, basically, I need to get familiar with the how as far as attacking the problem. I need to know what paperwork I need to file, to rectify the situation, I need to know who to file it with and how to write it in a way that it is heard. Because when I go to court, they're like, "Oh, you don't know the legal terms," and I'm like, "No, I don't know the legal terms. I just know that this isn't right," and that really doesn't get people anywhere because they know that it's not right. So basically, I just, I had expressed that when you call certain people, they're like, "Oh, we can't give you legal advice," and then they say, "Well, go to Legal Services of Mid." Missouri or whatever their name is on Forest Port. You go to them, you pour your heart out. They tell you, "We sorry to inform you, but like so many other people, we can't take your case." Then they refer you to somebody else. They can't take your case. The other people can't take your case. Nobody can take your case. And so, and these people get money for supposedly helping people by taking their case. I don't know whose case they take. But I don't know who they helping, but I know a lot of people that haven't been able to get help from them, and so it's like just knowing like just a framework of how to approach the situation, what forms to file and who to submit it to, because Missouri is a good state to like self-represent yourself if you know how to represent yourself, if you know the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of it. So that's kind of like where I am. I need to know, in what order do I do what, am I filing some kind of writ or habeas corpus or all this so crazy stuff. I don't know the legal terminology for what I'm looking for. So I need kind of like a translator, a legal translator, where I speak English and the other person come back with some legal jargon that makes sense to that listen to.
All right, one thing that we can utilize is, now that I know that's what you need, this is one of the problems that we need to be working out in creating this renters association.
I am a renters association. What you mean it is created? Hold up a minute. What?
You in trouble?
He's a snatcher, boy. You better watch out.
Heck yeah, I'm over here. Eyes bulged out my head because that's about the second, third time I've heard that.
It came out the wrong way, sweetheart. Raina, in no way did I not mean that. I'm just saying what we're talking about is something nationwide. If we're going to do this, we can do it correctly because we have college students that are paralegals, and they will do this and get their internships and their community service. So that is, I was just trying to come up with a solution to give to her on what we can do, because I would reach out to her. I personally, not saying, I will reach out to one of your colleges down there and try to get you a student that will work with you.
Okay, so here's the thing, real quick. When you're building a house, you got to pour the foundation first. Ain't no point in going out buying windows and doors and cabinets and countertop without the foundation not being poured, without the measurements of how big the foundation is. If you don't know that it's 40 by 15 or 18 by 30, you don't even have the plan yet. And that's really the understanding that needs to be said. Not everybody can farm, but everybody wants fruit from the farm. All right, so you can't always assume that even if we go out and get all these groups and bring them in, that they even know how to receive what we're doing. The first step really and truly is to really, for self, be able to articulate this to self to be able to teach somebody else. For real. If you cannot process this information to have a conversation with someone else, it's not helping. That's really where it begins. It's really understanding, where is your purpose on this clock? What do you gravitate to? How can you be of help? What talents do you have? See, that's the background part that each person needs to do before proceeding to go grab other people and bring them in. It's kind of like a song or a video. If nobody knows the lyrics, you're going to have a whole lot of humming.
I'm sorry. I just thought that you guys were asking, all right, here he came in late, I came in late. What did she need? I thought there was going to be a response to trying to help her. I understand, and I'm actually just going to sit back and listen at this point. But thank you, and I'm sorry. I did not mean to speak out of turn.
I love you, and I hope you don't feel like I'm chastising, because, I mean, really, this is a step to anything. I wouldn't care if you were talking about gardening. Yeah. She's been around me. She'll tell you I am very, what would you call that? What?
I would call it anal.
I would call it irky.
I would call it anal.
Oh, wait. I can say it, and she's sitting next to me. So, again, it's no love lost. We get what you mean, Chris.
No. I'm detail oriented as well. Like, I'm OCD in my own way, and I'm detail oriented, so it doesn't bother me. It's just that there is a process, there is an order, and I'm grateful for anybody that kind of like keeps the order, because everybody does not have that skill. So, but my question is just to follow up. I mean, I know that we were talking about laying the foundation and all this other stuff. So, and I don't mean to say it that way, but you know how I talk. So what would, what would like be my 1, 2, 3 steps? Like step 1, step 2, step 3 for me.
Actually,
and I'm asking Raina.
I'm going to let Ms. Rosa see if she can answer that question. Where did you start out when we started this? It's all the same in principle. Where did you start out?
So when she planted the seed and said, hey, it's like a driver's license. You can't have this without this. The light bulb clicked. She planted the seed. So I decided, because I do know about the public assessor's office and that back door to that website on the Missouri government side, I know a lot about it because I do spend time with those, and I was researching property and stuff. So when she told me that, I went and showed her. I was like, is this what you referring to? Is this what you're talking about? She's like, yeah, but can you go in there and get that actually printed out? So when I went up there, they gave me the runaround. And she was steady saying like, oh, well, like I wasn't the one going to request what she was asking for. So it's really just, you need to get familiar with City Hall. I mean, are you in St. Louis City?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then, honey, we need to get together because, again, you just need to get familiar with that 4th floor in City Hall because that's where I found all of it. I go around the corner from the building permit. They told me everything I needed to know for that address. You need to have your actual address and get old. I'm talking about all of the old stuff and then look it up on CaseNet. And, oh, yeah, you might want to find out about central filing, too. They got a lot of the inspections and stuff that if you've even applied for any of it, that's where you would find that information at.
See, I don't have to answer. My complainants can answer because my job was to incorporate them into the knowledge of what they needed to be able to help themselves.
But start with public assessor's office because they're going to tell you everything listed about that address that they know on file. It might not be current, but it's a place to start.
And that's for civil. So Bree is going through something criminal. So criminal real quick. You would go back to your law enforcement agency.
Yep.
You will request your file. The second part, if it's already in court and you have charges, then you have to go to the courthouse and ask for the court copies of the filings. If you have an attorney, you can go back to the attorney and request filings. Those would be the steps if you're going through a criminal procedure of which you would need to be able to request the documents needed. But see how she was able to offer because she went down there and she did it herself. So she has a seat of knowledge to where she can share that she could be the number one of telling people where do you go to even get your paperwork to begin.
Yep.
You see how that's important? That's a foundation. Correct. Most people don't even know where to go or what to do. That's why I had you read, Bree, the 3 things that you needed. And the first one, one of them was to get your paperwork. You didn't even know what to do. So that's what I mean about being careful of grabbing all these people first and bringing them in, but there's still steps in the background that needs to be done.
And then, okay, I understand that, and it makes it like I was talking to somebody, and they had some kind of issue where they had bought a car that was a lemon, but they got an attorney like to do like a little bit of pro bono work for them, but it was because they had did so many steps on their own that it wasn't much that the attorney had to do. And so kind of like this is like the foundation that you're talking about is helping me to realize and kind of incorporate the other part of what he was talking about. I don't know, I can't remember. I think that was Chris was saying like we could get some college students or paralegals to come in and help, but like you want to have that foundation first before you even call them. Is that what I'm understanding you to say, Raina?
Yes, because we call a paralegal if nobody knows how to talk to them, if nobody can go through these files, if people still have questions of themselves, what are they supposed to do for you? Because they ain't going to do the work. They're not going to know where to go either. So having the understanding that you calling people who are ignorant too.
Okay, so might I ask a question? Let's say, okay, so I want to ask, okay, I've done the foundational step where I've got the paperwork and I got all the paperwork that I need. Then what would be like my step 2? Like creating a plan or what?
So then you will go into your legal argument. What is your complaint?
I remember that question.
See, I'm telling you, I'm very step 1, step 2, step 3. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. You remember? Yes, you would remember because that's what I will always say. What is your legal complaint? What are you bringing up? You have an argument about something. What is it?
Mm-hmm. No, that's actually different. Listen to what she said. What is your legal complaint? Not your complaint. What is your legal complaint? What can you prove that they legally did wrong? It's a totally different question. I didn't get that at first. I admit I didn't get that at first. I was a little frustrated, like she getting on my last nerve, she irky, but I'm gonna do what she asked. But I didn't really look at it until after she said it again, and I was like, wait a minute. There was the next seed she had planted. And then light bulb, and I took off from there. I was back at that dang on City Hall again.
And she went and got all these papers. I mean, I got a nice little mountain of papers. But I want to be impressed if we got 4 minutes left, and I want to play his outro before Kick It and Company comes on. So real quick, and I'm going to say it in 1 minute, and I'm going to go around the thing. I am very proud of her because during that trial, there's an opportunity when you're presenting, sometimes it can be argumentative sounding. But when she realized, she picked back up her defense, and she started reading her defense. This is what you're here for. These statutes, these sections that has been put out here. And I was very, very proud of her for that. You have to know what this jargon is to be able to get through these doors. So I want to say thank you to everybody. You did an excellent job testifying for yourself.
Thank you.
And so that's one of the things, other people who has been in trials, I want to bring them back and see if they would teach other people what they learned. Do you think you could teach another person for trial?
I can't teach people patience because I swear I had to find that.
Hey. But as far as the steps,
yes, I can definitely teach them the steps.
See what I mean? Everybody got a piece to the puzzle. Yeah. All right, so I got the camera on you. Tell us who you are and whatever you want to say before we leave.
Rosa McGee, a.k.a., Rhoda Brown.
Mr. Oneway Wess.
Hey, it's Wess, you already know, from the West Side. You follow me on Instagram at Wess52 or Wess of Lotus 52, whatever you want to do. So, yeah, check me out.
And then we on the show, Miss Beautiful Tricia Martin.
Hey, y'all. Just sitting back listening to everything. I did have some interruptions. I hope nobody called on me. But yes, this is Tricia Martin, also known as Coach Redhawk. If you guys need a rebirth, reset session, y'all can come find me at finallytheredhawk@gmail.com. That's finallytheredhawk@gmail.com.
Beautiful Miss Brian Holmes.
Yes, I'm here. My name is, I just go by Bree. So I'm here.